Welcome Math 095 group. Welcome to a new semester. Let's get a little bit of an overview on how we will use Canvas for Math 095, the support course for Math 115 this semester. This is our homepage in Canvas, and depending on which section of Math 095 you are in with me, your homepage might look slightly different. And also, by the time the semester actually starts, there might be a few changes. But overall, Canvas will work just like I'm going to show you approximately right now. So this is our homepage. At the top of the homepage, you'll see recent announcements. The top three, or the most recent three, announcements will be listed up here. Right now, I just have a couple of fake announcements hanging out for demonstration purposes. I do send out announcements frequently. If you are looking for an old announcement, maybe last week you saw something about some tips on taking the quiz and you're wondering where that announcement went, you can always look through all of our announcements by using the left-hand menu on the left-hand side of the screen under Announcements. And the complete list will be there for you all semester long. I do send out a lot of announcements. I do keep in contact with you. Please read those announcements, keep track of those. Back to our home screen. Underneath the announcements, right now, there is a Unit 0. We will have a Unit 0 of some format at the beginning of the semester. It's a Let's Get Started unit, and we need to complete all of these items before we can get to the mathematical components in Unit 1. At the top of this list will be a tour of our Canvas course. That's what we're watching right now. There's a syllabus, and that's a Google Doc. There's a tentative schedule, that is also a Google Doc. And then there's an assignment at the bottom of Unit 0. We need to view the screencast, the syllabus, and the schedule, and then we need to complete this details assignment. Right now, I have the syllabus and the schedule open in other windows. Let me pull those up. Here's our syllabus. This is for the fully online class. So the syllabus is, it's 12 pages long. It is written in my voice. It has my philosophy on some things. I think you do want to read through the 12 pages. I know 12 pages is a lot, but I think you do want to read through that to get to know me and my philosophy and how things will roll this semester. I ask a lot of things in question format. Who is on your support team? How do you know this course is right for you? And while we are right here, if for some reason you think that you would like to talk about being in this course a bit further, please just reach out. At the beginning of the semester, I often get students who are misplaced one direction or another, and we work together to get the right placement for you to ensure your success this semester the best we can. What stuff do you need for the course? Why should you take the course? The syllabus is filled with things like this. Strategies for keeping up in the class, things like that. The schedule comes in chart form, and it will mirror the schedule in Math 115. So Math 115 has 4 units of math content, so does Math 095. The start dates for each unit should match from Math 095 to Math 115. And I make a note about Thanksgiving recess down here at the bottom. I love a recess, so now you know that about me. Back to Canvas. After you've perused the syllabus and the schedule, you can check out this details assignment, and anything with a little rocket ship in Canvas can be done through Canvas. You'll submit your answers there. A score will go in the grade book eventually, and sometimes there are things that I have to grade by hand, and so you have to give me a little bit of time to do that. After you have completed everything in Unit 0, you can head toward the math content in Unit 1. And right now, only Unit 1 will be visible to you. Unit 1 in Math 095 and all the units in Math 095 will look much simpler than they do in Math 115. In Math 095, all of the assignments go into the category of assignments. There's not separate categories for different styles of activities. So everything in Math 095 is an assignment. Each item is worth 4 points, and there will always be a target due date listed with each one of them. So this assignment that's called Some Work with Sequences is due on September 9th. That's a target due date to make sure that you're keeping up with the course. The very last moment that you could complete this would be September 26th, the date that the pre-quiz in this unit is due. So the very last moment that you could submit any of this work, if you were not able to meet the target due dates, would be 11:59 p.m. on September 26th. You have a little bit of a safety net built in if you fall a little bit behind. I highly encourage you to work ahead rather than relying on the safety net of falling behind. Let's take a look at one of these assignments. Maybe we open up this one, Some Work with Sequences. All right, let's tell it begin. It does tell me ahead of time that there's no time limit on this, and the assessment has unlimited attempts. Often in Math 095, you will have those opportunities to do things more than once. So the pressure for getting things 100% correct on the first try in a timed situation is not there. I want this to be very relaxed so that you have a good learning experience rather than something that is built on stress. Let's click begin. In this one, I have included some tutorial work in here. So if you needed some tutorial assistance, it's over here on this left-hand side in the video. And then there are some questions. Okay, so if you looked at the questions and thought, oh my, I don't know what to do about that, the tutorial is there to help you. This is the same tutorial I think that you'll find in Math 115 in this case. So you're going to see some overlap there. Let's pretend that I picked an answer of 5 for number 1. I'm just going to fill things in. 3.5 for number 2. I'm not doing any work. Don't use these answers. Let's say I picked neither for 3, neither for 4. In 3 and 4, you'll notice there's some text off to the side that you can read to help answer the questions with. And then in number 5, I'm going to pick neither also. I didn't even read the questions. That's a terrible habit. Don't do that. This is just for demo purposes. Let's click submit when we're done. It prompts me that I won't be able to change my answers once I submit. That just means on this attempt. You will have other attempts available. If this were a quiz in Math 115, for example, and we accidentally missed a question, forgot to leave any answer for it, that prompt would come here as well. Are you sure you want to submit? There are some questions without answers. Make sure you go back and take care of that. So we submit, and it tells me that I took 1 minute and 31 seconds for this attempt, and I got 2 out of 5 points, and I would not want to stay with that. Okay, but that's kind of how these will work. If you have the little rocket ship, let me return back to where we were on the home screen. Back on the home screen. If you see the little rocket ship in Canvas, those assignments will be submitted in Canvas, kind of like this one, Some Work with Sequences, and many times they will be auto-scored, but sometimes there will be questions where I do have to hand grade those. Assignments like this that say Desmos, Math 095, Unit 1, Part 1, those will be done through Desmos. This is the same Desmos account that you will use for Math 115. You'll click on these links. There will be a link to the Desmos activity, and then you can work through that. This says September 15th for a target due date. I do start checking on those in advance of the due date, so if you have started this activity and you have a few slides done, you might see some comments from me before the due date. Okay. And if you ever have questions about any of those activities through Desmos, please send me a kind email and let me know, hey Nicole, I'm working on screen number 4 in this activity and I'm not getting the same answer that you get, so could you look at my work and help steer me in the right direction? Something like that, a very kind email letting me know that you'd like me to check in on something specific, and I would be glad to do that. At the bottom of this list in the unit is pre-quiz number 1. This will be the exact same pre-quiz that will be listed in Math 115 in the corresponding unit. So if you want to do the pre-quiz in one of the courses, I recommend doing it in Math 095. Get that all tackled and under control, get all your questions answered, and then transfer your answers to pre-quiz number 1 in the other course. That would be absolutely fine with me. It's not cheating to do that. Some students will do the pre-quiz number 1 kind of early in Math 095, maybe a few days in advance of the quiz opening up in Math 115. They'll work on it and they'll let that sit, and then they'll go to Math 115 right before the quiz opens up, maybe the day before, and they will do another practice attempt in Math 115 the day before. If they can keep their minds fresh and not memorize answers, that can work really well as a study strategy. All right, that's how our home screen will work and where you can find your assignments to work on. We talked a little bit about how if you want to see the long list of announcements, you can come under announcements on the left-hand side of the screen. For grades, there is a grades button on the left-hand side of our screen. And right now it says there's a 1 in a dark blue circle right there. If we click on grades, we'll get a long list of assignments that are available to us to work on. And we will get a list of scores that have already been put in. So you can see your scores in here. And if I have left any comments on any assignments, you'll get a little cartoon bubble over here to the right-hand side of the particular assignment. If I click on that, the feedback pops up, and you can tell that the feedback is from me because it'll have my name at the bottom. And this particular piece of feedback reads, "I'm not quite sure what happened with number 9. Please take a look at that once more and get back to me, okay? I'd like to make sure there aren't any glitches." And then I often leave a little smiley face. Because we're not together in an online class, I think it's really important that I do things to help compensate for any tone that might be misinterpreted. I am here to support you. I hope you hear my voice right now. My job is to support you and to help make you more independent mathematical problem solvers. So if I'm nudging you to come talk to me or to maybe drop by the math center, those are all comments intended to help you along your path. Okay, I am on your team. If anything ever looks strange in the grade book, like you think you should have had a 4 out of 4 on an assignment and it says 3.5 out of 4, please just reach out to me with a kind email letting me know what you think the issue might be, and I will look into that. Okay, Canvas does not work perfectly. Sometimes that's a Canvas issue and sometimes that's a Nicole issue, but working together, we make it work pretty well. All right, back to the home screen. Oh wait, on the grade page. Let me go back to the grade page. On the grade page, right up here at the top, it gives a total, a running total. And let's see what happens when we click on Show All Details right underneath that. I think it just opens things up. It shows the comments in a longer format rather than having to click on them. There was that one. I guess for this, if we hid the details, it just makes a more compact list. But your running total for the course will be up here toward the top right-hand side of the screen. And again, if that ever looks strange, please let me know. All right, back to the home screen. This is kind of how we're going to roll this semester. We're going to have a home screen with the top 3 announcements at the top of the page. We'll start with some units. Usually we go down the units in this class. Target dates are listed, and the last date to submit anything in a given unit will be the same last moment due date as the pre-quiz for that unit. I will remind you about this in the beginning of the semester. Once we get settled into Unit 2, things like that, you'll get fewer reminders about due dates from me. Keep an eye on the long list of announcements if you don't keep up on the short list, and you can always find your grades under the grades. If you need something, if something would be helpful to you, please reach out to me. Otherwise, I look forward to working with you this semester. See you soon.